All right, let's talk about getting seen online. In today's digital world, if your business isn't showing up on a search engine, you're pretty much invisible. So, how do you get to the top? Well, today we are breaking down the two most powerful ways to do it, SEO and PPC.
I mean, that's really the question, isn't it? You've got trillions of pages out there, millions of competitors all clawing for that top spot. How do you make sure that when a customer is looking, they find you? The answer really lies in one powerful discipline.
And that discipline is called search engine marketing, or SEM for short. You can think of SEM as the master plan, right? It's the whole strategy dedicated to making you visible online. It's this big umbrella, and underneath it, you've got two very different but very powerful engines working for you. And that brings us right to those two engines of search, SEO and PPC. These are the absolute core of any good search marketing strategy. Now, people often use them together, but it's so important to understand that they work on completely different principles.
So, you've probably heard someone say something like PPC SEO Marketing before. Let's just clear this up right now. That's not really a thing. It's a super common mix-up, but it mashes two totally separate pillars together. Understanding why they're separate is honestly the first step to building a strategy that actually works.
Okay, so here's the fundamental difference. On one side, you've got SEO. That's all about earning unpaid or organic traffic. It's the long game, you know? It's about building up credibility over time. Then on the other side, you have PPC, which is all about buying immediate traffic through paid ads. You could say SEO is a marathon and PPC is a sprint. They can both get you to the finish line, for sure, but they take very, very different paths. So now that we get the main difference, we're going to focus on that long-term game, the organic engine. And you might be wondering why. Well, because to really get a handle on search marketing as a whole, you have to master the principles of search engine optimization first. So let's dive in.
At its core, SEO is just the process of optimizing your website so you get more visitors from the unpaid search results. And that keyword there is unpaid. This isn't about buying your way to the top. This is about earning your spot, because the search engines genuinely believe you deserve to be there.
And this quote right here, it gets to the very heart of what modern SEO is all about. The goal isn't to find some clever loophole or to trick the algorithms. It's about building something genuinely valuable. A website that's so credible and so authoritative that search engines want to show it to people.
To do that, you have to understand how search engines actually think. I mean, if you want to win the game, you've got to know the rules, right? And for search engines, pretty much everything boils down to this continuous three-stage process.
And those three stages are crawling, indexing, and ranking. This is the fundamental cycle that search engines are running constantly, 24/7 across the entire web. To really get SEO, we need to look at how each one works, starting with the first two.
Okay, so it all starts with discovery, or what we call crawling. Search engines send out these little armies of automated programs. You'll hear them called crawlers or bots. You know, Google's is famously called Googlebot. And these bots just travel the internet nonstop, discovering new and updated pages by following links from one page to the next. They're kind of like digital explorers, constantly mapping the web.
So once a bot finds a page, it moves to stage 2, indexing. This is where the search engine tries to figure out what the page is actually about. It analyzes everything, the words, the pictures, the videos, and especially little bits of code like HTML tags, to categorize all that information and store it in a massive database. Think of it like a giant global library, and indexing is the process of filing every single book on exactly the right shelf.
So, we've talked about the what and the how. We know what SEO is, we know the big difference between SEO and PPC, and we know how search engines start to find and make sense of all the content out there. This brings us to the most important part, how you actually build your strategy from this. So, the crucial point is this. Everything we just talked about, it's not just theory. Understanding this fundamental process of how search engines work is the absolute non-negotiable first step. It doesn't matter if you choose SEO, PPC, or a mix of both. This knowledge is the foundation that every single successful campaign is built on. Which really leaves us with one final, crucial question. We know now that search success isn't about little tricks. It's about becoming a credible, valuable resource. So the question you should be asking yourself isn't just, how do I get seen? But how will I earn my audience's trust and actually build my authority? Because that, right there, is the foundation of a winning search strategy.